it's just thing. No, but it's
Have you noticed the serpents?
the serpents. What serpents?
Look at wasps.
Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord God had made.
Hey guys, Jason here with a word to the wise. This is an important kind of a message because we don't know how much time we have left. So if you feel the need, please share. Like I said, we don't know how much time we have left. And I'll get into that too. Those two girls with the messages they had, drugged up or not, I think that they were possessed. The second girl, you can watch her during the interview and you can see these black lines on her face pushing out and then pulling back. You know, her face goes back to, you know, human, whatever, but then when she starts to talk every once in a while, you see the lines pushing out and then pulling back. You know, and it could just be light, it could be shadow. We don't know. But the message where she says, haven't you seen the snakes at the hospitals? So, there's the cup of Hygiena, or the bowl. Hygiena, a goddess, back in the Greek mythology. The rod of Asclepius, it's a tough one. That's a single snake on the rod. That's usually for like the paramedics. And then there is the caduceus. That is the medical industry. All dealing with the pharmakia. So now, looking at the other ones, I can disregard. But the rod, or the rod of the caduceus, now that deals with Hermes. That was Hermes' symbol. Hermes also being Mercury. Dealing with thieves, merchants, kind of his sign, messengers. So, what was Hermes able to do back in Greek mythology? He was able to go in between worlds. He was a messenger. He could deliver the messages of the gods to the realms of the humans, or he could go back and deliver the gods' messages, which I'm sure they all are pretty in tune with whatever's going on. Who knows? But being a messenger, he could go down to the underworld, and what was his job? To deliver the dead. So the medical industry deals with a symbol of Mercury, who would deliver the dead to Pluto.
but it's going to kill them. Does it protect them from COVID?
Not at all.
Not at all. But they say it protects them from COVID. So you say it doesn't at all?
Because they were also working with us.
Who?
The one that say it works.
Remember now, we are coming into this time of Pluto. February 22nd, 2022 will be the 248-year cycle that brings Pluto. I don't know if it's closest to the Earth or what it is, but in those articles of the astrology, they were talking about a time of change is coming. Now, I don't know, but I've heard that there are certain religions that are pulling out of New York right now. What does that mean? I don't know. But also seeing another video from the Scariest Movie Ever channel talking about the symbols on dollar bills and showing how they line up with actual pictures of events that have happened on grand scales. Like I've said, if they were going to turn on the 5 sneezy, where's all the hardware? Where's all that stuff now? Is it built into these new giant telephone poles I'm seeing on the side of the road? Are they built into transformers and just in line with wires with all these weird little gray cap things? Are they all built into all the LED streetlights? I've seen videos on that. We don't know. But also, them talking over and over and over and over and over about cyber attacks. They got Snowden in their pocket over there in their country. And many people have shown, and many fishers on his second channel, he just showed a video about this kind of a thing. But if you want to put in this new thing that you want, for one, you got to get people on board with the physical, digital, and biological. They're talking. So imagine you cause problems in all of that, then you can bring a new system, because for one, if we do some sort of a war scenario and there's sleeper cells, well, now we don't know who the good guys are from the bad guys. But if we register people and ID them in some way, well, then we can track you a whole lot easier. Dangerous. So they're again going into this marking. But here again, population control. That also dives into the Bill Gates TED Talks. Population's a big thing when you're looking at trying to fix the environmental problems that are happening in the world. So there again, population control. Imagine getting everybody to just go and put something into them. If it deals with, I wish I could mirror videos. All I can do is record them and then just post them. But finding people that are talking, I think Shaking My Head Productions, like I've said, go to his channel, his website, shakingmyheadproductions.com, and you can find the videos where it shows these graphenes. And I've been to science museums in the last, I think back in December we went, and literally these places have nano areas where kids can go play with nano dust, nano liquid, nano all this stuff. They got walls covered with this nano information. And like the lipozymes dealing with nanos, now they got, they're showing the benefits of all these things. But like everything, somebody comes out with a flying car to show how it's going to fix traffic and all that, then somebody uses it for bad. Goes in everything. Anytime somebody comes up with some good technology, they find a way to use it for bad. Look at computers. Now we're talking about cyber attacks. For whatever reason, why would you want to put a switch for an electrical system onto a computer? To have it controlled by a computer, to have it controlled remotely, is just the dumbest thing I've ever heard. We don't know, but like I've shown, if Pluto was the ruler of the Underworld and Hades, or not Hades, but Hermes, and as Mercury, working with Pluto together, and who was Hermes? He was the son of Apollo, Apollyon, the destroyer. And the serpent was more cunning than any other beast in the field. Genesis 3:1. I'll leave it at that. If I have more, I'll add it on later, but looking at this timeline coming up next week, we're seeing how Canada is being dismantled right now. They're just right up north from us. Yet, what they're in a state of emergency, and we're worried about Ukraine. Our southern border has all sorts of problems. We don't seem to care much about that either. Letting anybody come in, shipping them around the country. Imagine if all of a sudden they say, oops, we might have hauled people around too fast and we put a little too many bad people out there. And people have been talking about New York for years and years and years and years and years and years. It's nothing new. So to say anything's going to happen anytime soon isn't anything new either. But we have to just kind of keep all this in mind at the moment, because things could go dramatically south in an instant. And it could go in any different directions, but especially if it goes digital, well, you don't know what's happening from town to town to town. And that's when things could be going on that you don't know. High voltage might be down, but low voltage might not. And especially these new millimeter waves they're talking about. So, just a word to the wise. Like I said, if I have more, I'll add on. But I think this covers a lot of the basis I was trying to get out yesterday that I just couldn't put into words. But I needed to have more of these scriptures in place. And like the girls were saying, we want to trap them in their sins. We don't wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities, darkness, evil in high places, higher powers that we don't fully understand. So imagine it's a spiritual war, but what have we been dealing with for the last 2 years? We've been warring in the physical, left and right. Food, powers, governments, people, all to confuse even the Christians. Everybody. But it's all been a ruse, because there's a spiritual aspect that they've been rolling out, which is the mark of the beast, a sin, worshiping the image. What was the beast that got them thrown out of the Garden of Eden? The serpent, more cunning than any other beast of the field. And now it's on our medical, and people are flocking to it to save their lives so that they can be continuously a part of this world. While God is calling them to the Great Supper, they're saying, I've got to go check out a new car I just bought, and I just bought a new house, I just got married, I'm going on a honeymoon. Maybe next time. You should have let yourself be called into this one without taking sin upon you. Isaiah chapter 1 verse 6. Sores from head to toe. Why? Because of their iniquities, their sins, and the evils they do. Have no fear no matter what happens, even if nothing happens. If something grand happens, who knows? It's the word of the wise, guys. God bless.